I was in a forum talking with a group of leftists about this scene from the Squid Games, which I believe is actually the essence of criticism from the author that made the movie. The author is very critical of capitalism, and you can see that he definitely walks the walk because he only wanted to make one season, but then when the bags of money from Netflix came, he immediately wanted to do a season two, which is an amazing way of critiquing capitalism. Like, I got my principles, but the bags of money. I really reject the idea that this is a critique of capitalism, even if this is what the producer is saying. I think it's a critique of human greed. And human greed exists into every single system that mankind has created because greed is associated with the human element. And as such, people who grow up under capitalism, when critiquing greed, they are thinking that they're critiquing the actual system. But if the same person was to grow up in North Korea under a dictatorship, while critiquing greed, he would be dictating the socialist system. Like, he would be like, look at the inner party members, look how greedy they are. And you could have literally the exact same TV show, except that the reward wouldn't be $33 million. The reward would just be an inner party membership card, right? It's kind of like when you're an atheist. If you're in a Christian country, your atheism is going to be shaped by the religion. But if you're in a Muslim country, it's going to be shaped by that. So there's a lot of atheist Muslims that, used to be members of Islam, but then once they became atheists, they still don't eat pork, they still don't drink alcohol, they have like those remnants. And it's the same thing here with the critique of capitalism. Like, he is actually critiquing human greed, but because he is in a capitalist nation, he's critiquing that. Anyway, let's analyze the critique itself. So again, I definitely believe that this scene is the meta commentary that the author wants to present. So you have, without giving much spoilers, you got this gentleman in a suit approaching a homeless person. And, he is well-dressed, he's very well-spoken, and is, as you can see, he's approaching this very unfortunate individual that's sleeping on a bench, and is offering him an exchange. The guy sleeping on the bench can either choose the loaf of bread, or he can choose the lottery ticket. And once he makes a choice, he has to stick with it. So, like, if he picks the lottery ticket, he will not get the bread. If he picks the bread, he will not get the ticket. And almost everybody, except for like one guy, picks the lottery ticket. And as you can see, the guy in the suit throws away all the remaining bread that wasn't picked and steps on it and is very angry at the decision that the homeless people took. He's very upset because in his mind, they should have gone for the loaf of bread. And so I really dislike this commentary. I really dislike this criticism because first and foremost, if you wanted to make it accurate, it would have to be a guy that's dying of thirst in the desert. Like, he is about to die unless he gets a drink of water. And you have the guy offering him the lotto ticket and the drink of water. Like, that would have been a more accurate criticism. But you can't do it in a capitalist society. Why? Because in a capitalist society, even the homeless people aren't starving. Like, as we're getting to see here, even the people that are at the bottom of society, they're not malnourished. Now, if you looked at the socialist system, if you looked at North Korea or communist Romania, like, there were a lot of malnourished people. Communist China, during the Great Leap Forward, like, you would see children that were literally skin and bones, places in Africa. But in our capitalist societies, even the people that are the worst off, like, even the bottom of the ladder, they're not malnourished. And so they are not having problem finding food. Now, whether they're getting the food from begging or they're getting the food from other sources, that's neither here nor there. There may be soup kitchens, there may be places that give charity, there may be restaurants that throw the food away. Like, whatever the case may be, there is food, right? This wasn't the case 50 years ago. In fact, I would make the argument that today it is so unthinkable that even my argument that pointing out that people aren't starving, a lot of you guys are going to roll their eyes and they're going to see like, yeah, like, of course, we're not going to talk about that. Of course, it's a metaphor. But the reality is that for many of our grandparents, it was not a metaphor. Like famines were real, starvations were real. We do not have this in the third world, which is why this type of criticism doesn't exist. And so you're basically presenting the choice to the homeless person. You're presenting the choice between a loaf of bread that they can acquire anyway, because again, they're not malnourished, so they must have a place where they can get food, or the chance, like the small chance of getting out of poverty. Now, it's an insanely slim chance. It's probably close to zero, but you are offering them hope. That's what you're giving them. The lottery ticket represents the hope that they may actually be able to restart their life. And even if they don't get the hope, even if they don't manage to win, you're still offering them joy. Because at the end of the day, you know, when a guy in a suit goes up and talks to people that view themselves as invisible, that almost no one notices, you walk past them on the street on a daily basis, and now you have like a guy in the suit actually talking to them, giving them stuff, that is a moment of joy that you're offering. And so this is why they will go for the lottery ticket. And it's also the excitement, right? Like the lottery ticket represents the excitement as you're scratching the numbers and you're hoping that you're going to win. You see that you got a 7, you see that you got the second 7, you're starting to scratch the third number, and so you get the feeling of happiness. And so they're probably thinking, you know, every single day I eat. Because they are, right? Like they're not malnourished. So like if every single day they get to manage to eat something, they'll probably figure out what they can eat that particular day as well. But they don't get to play the lottery, right? Like almost none, well, I'm pretty sure that none of them played the lottery. So like when the opportunity presents itself, like when someone has already bought a ticket and they're like, would you like to try? It's that thing, it's like, okay, well, this kind of changes the situation a little bit. Someone is talking to me, I get to spend some time with them, and on top of that, there is a slim chance that I may get out of poverty. Not to mention, like, they may not know what is happening. Like, from their perspective, they may think that this is a candid camera thing, and regardless of what they pick, they will win something anyway, right? And this is why I don't like the criticism, because it literally doesn't apply to a capitalist country. If you read the Communist Manifesto, which was written, 100 years ago, probably more, it basically talks about how people were trying to find bread, right? Like, it tries to get the conquest of bread. We have solved that problem. Like, that has been fixed to the point where we now have morbid obesity. Like, in fact, the other way would have worked. If you go to, like, some people that are morbidly obese and you give them a lottery ticket or, you know, a cure to obesity, like a pill that would make them thin, that would be an accurate criticism of the capitalism we have today. This, to me, falls flat. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.